Hey everybody, today we're going to be going over Mormonism. We're gonna debunk it really quick. I'm hoping this isn't a very long video. Starting off with Joseph Smith Jr. Joseph Smith Jr. was the founder of Mormonism. He was a pedophile, a polygamist, a liar, and a Freemason. The story is told. Joseph Smith asked God to reveal to him which of the churches was true. God replied, saying none of them were, and chose Joseph as a prophet to allow him to aid in reforming the church. He then produced the Book of Mormon out of golden tablets that you can't see, and no one did see but him. His child bride and polygamy. Joseph Smith had as many as 40 wives, one of which was sealed at the age of 14, according to the LDS Church. We know from the Bible that polygamy is forbidden. The Egyptian tablets. Joseph Smith acquired and attempted to translate Egyptian fragments of writing from ancient Thebes. These are dated between 300 to 100 BC. Along with these fragments, Joseph Smith had mummies that he called the bodies of a pharaoh and 3 of his servants. And he called the pharaoh Onetus and claimed the name came from a revelation. No known pharaoh by this name exists, and Joseph claimed the writings were written by Abraham and Joseph of the Old Testament, but modern-day translations of the writings prove it's about ancient Egyptian burial rituals and has nothing to do with either of those individuals. See, back when Joseph Smith was around, they didn't actually have the ability to translate Egyptian writings, so Joseph was praying over the tablets in an attempt to translate them, and that's what he produced what I first said, that they were written by Abraham and Joseph, but obviously that's not the case. And so we'll look here at one of these. So on the far left you will see the god Osiris. At the top there's 15 of 42 judges, and then it just kind of goes over the different gods involved in death and death rituals. It's got nothing to do with Abraham or Joseph. And Joseph Smith was a Freemason, which, as everybody knows, is my pet topic on this channel. I went to see Jordan Peterson speak here in Billings the other day, and he told the audience, he told us that if you see a problem and it's just laying there and it's obvious that it's a problem but nobody's going to fix it, and you're wondering why doesn't anybody fix it, that problem's your problem. And to me, that problem is Freemasonry. So Joseph Smith is a confirmed member of the Freemasons and incorporated their teachings into his religious teachings. Joseph Smith introduced the Temple Endowment, which is a gift in Mormonism, kind of like a priesthood. Heber C. Kimball, one of the men given the gift, wrote to another man, Parley P. Pratt, who was also given the gift, "There's a similarity of priesthood in Masonry." Both men were Freemasons, so they kind of knew what they were talking about. They believed that Joseph Smith was inspired to do this temple endowment by the Freemasons, their ceremonies, and that's what he used to come up with his style of priesthood, I suppose. So that's all I have really for the presentation, but what I want to say is, if for whatever reason you're a Freemason, and hearing bad, or excuse me, if you're a Mormon and hearing bad stuff about Joseph Smith and proving that these things are true about him, that leads you to be an atheist or not believe in God, I'd caution you against that, because Joseph Smith isn't God. Just because Joseph Smith isn't a true prophet of the Lord doesn't mean there isn't a Lord. I think that he's done unspeakable damage to a lot of people, and it's no surprise to me that he died the way that he did. It's hard to go over this evidence because I know people who are Mormon or considered Mormonism, and they're fantastic people, they're great people. But their leader, Joseph Smith, he was an evil man. And there are other people who I could go over after Joseph Smith that became the prophet after him, that had issues of their own, that struggled with their own issues. But I feel like if I just disproved Joseph Smith wasn't the prophet that he claimed he was, then I don't have to go over the information that the rest of those guys have to go over. Like, for example, racism in Mormonism used to be a big part of their religion. I guess we don't really have to go over that, but ultimately, I just caution you away from Mormonism, but I wouldn't caution you so far as to no longer be a Christian. But that's all I have for you today. Have a good rest of your day.